Right, we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me okay. Hopefully you can. And welcome to a Patreon voted on solo playthrough of Tiletum. So I do some solo playthroughs on the channel, and my Patreon supporters of producer level and higher have an influence on what games we're covering. And I put a vote up last week and gave them 4 choices, and this one won. Just, what did it win against? There was another game that was very close. I can't remember. I think the 4 games that I put forward were Tiletum, Atiwa, Lacrimosa, and Come Together. And it was Lacrimosa. That was it. Yeah, so this one and Lacrimosa were, tied almost for the top. I think this one got 39% and Lacrimosa got 37%. Anyway, that's why I'm doing this. This is a Patreon-funded stream. This is not a sponsored video. So a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. Vicky is out today, so I've decided to take the morning off, set this up, and take the afternoon off to basically bring you this solo playthrough. If you enjoy the content that I create and you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/gaming rules. Right, moving on. Yes, there is no cathedral in Milano. Now, because this is not a sponsored video, I haven't obviously gone through all of the usual prep that I do. So this video is going to be a little bit rough. I've not played the solo mode yet. Thanks to the help of some of my Patreon supporters, we've spent the morning trying to work out how to play it. And I've got the rulebook with me. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle. I am going to have to keep referring to the rulebook, and I'm going to have to ask some people in the chat. But that's what this is. It's a very sort of loose playthrough. Now, I class this as a Category 3 solo game. That means there is an AI bot with a relatively complex set of instructions that you need to follow because it tries to simulate another player. Category 1 solo games for me have no AI bot whatsoever. You just play the game as normal and count up your score. Category 2 are relatively simple solo modes, and Category 3 is where there is this big flowchart decision tree on everything that it does. Category 3 is not my personal favourite because it requires a lot of brain power, but from what I've heard about this is an extremely well-designed solo mode. So my personal preference for solo modes and how good of a solo mode this is are 2 separate things. Whilst I might not be the biggest fan of complex AI bots, this one is apparently very, very good. I will give you my verdict on it at the end, and we'll see how we get on. So we're playing against another player, which is the Cardinal bot. Now, there's a few things that we've done to set up. We've set up the board as normal for a 2-player game. But what I've done, and I don't think it says this in the rulebook, is that any cathedral where there were more than 2 tiles, I've actually removed the other tiles because each player can only build 1 piece of the cathedral, effectively. So I've removed those extra tiles. We have Tiletum as the first fair, and we have 3 random towns as fairs 2, 3, and 4, and they've all come out here. So we have a fair in Frankfurt, which is the second fair. There's 4 rounds in the game. At the end of round 1, we'll have a fair in Tiletum. At the end of round 2, we'll have a fair in Frankfurt. At the end of round 3, it will be Leipzig. And at the end of round 4, it will be Troyes, if that's how you pronounce it correctly. In order to score in that fair, a human player must either have a house in that town or their merchant must be there. From what I read about the solo mode is that the Cardinal bot doesn't need to be in there whatsoever. The Cardinal bot is going to score all of these fairs whether they are there or not. Bonus tile missing at Bruges in setup. Oh, well spotted. Yes, there is a bonus tile missing. Oh, well spotted. There you go. Oh, no, in fact, it wasn't that one. It was that one. Because I did a bit of a play earlier on, and that was there, and it did take it. But thank you very much for spotting that. I think the rest of the thing is set up correctly. So there are certain spaces that you don't populate. Anything with a 3 and 4 player, you don't populate. There's a load of tiles that we've taken out. We've got bonus tiles, we've got that, we've got that. Now, if we look at the Cardinal bot, you can set the difficulty of the Cardinal bot. And what I've done is I've set it on difficulty 1. Which means we've just got 1 special power card. So there are about 8 of these included in the game. And you can choose 1, 3, 5, or however many you want, basically. And the more you choose, the more difficult it is. Where's my pointy stick of power? Oh, come on. I had it like a minute ago. There it is. Oh. So, What this is whenever it gets one of the helper tiles with resources on it or points, it actually gets those resources and points. So one of the things that the excuse me, I've still got a bit of a cough as well. One of the things that the bot does in this game, and it shouldn't have that wool, is that the tiles that it gets, apart from crests, it doesn't do anything with them. But you do get these cards. So it's got resourceful clergy. This is one of the random cards that I've given it. And this basically means it is going to get something for those two things. Now, if we just look down here, and thanks very much to Tom Heath, because Tom Heath from Slicker Drips has done a solo playthrough of this back in November of last year, I think. And if anybody is interested in checking out Tom's solo playthrough of this after you've seen this one, then feel free, just head on over to the Slicker Drips channel and search for Tiletum solo playthrough. Tom did one, and I've pretty much copied the same setup he had. So these cards are supposed to be all in a row, but I've actually got them not in a row. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These cards are not random. These cards are based on the fairs. So if we just have a quick look back at the player board, these are the 4 fairs that have been randomly chosen, and each one of these has a particular scoring condition on it. And what we do, I've got the contrast turned up a little bit high on here, I think. But yeah, there you go. It's very colourful. So what we've got is we've got the 4 cards for this. And these are in a row. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 in that specific order. And then 5 and 6. These 2 are fixed. And every turn, we're going to use this marker and we're going to move it onto one of the cards. And then we're going to go through this series of steps to work out what the bot is going to do. The bot goes first, which means it starts with 1 of each resource. But the food is special. It keeps 3 food here. And it will not spend this 3 food for fulfilling contracts. It will save this 3 food because it's going to use that on placing crests. I don't know where the cost is, but I think it's 3 food to place a crest. Yeah, I'd thought that was depicted somewhere on here, but it's not. So yeah, 3 food and it will depict a crest, which is why it saves the 3 food. Other than that, I think setup is mostly done. So we're just going to jump in and we're going to see how we get on. So 4 rounds in the game. The Cardinal bot goes first, and each round is divided into 5 phases. Preparation phase, we need to take the dice. Now, I don't know if the rulebook says this, but in a 2-player game, you have 10 dice in the bag. 5 different colours, 2 of each, because it's a 2-player game. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take 8 of them out and roll them on there. But also, you need 2 dice for the Cardinal bot. So what I'm actually going to do, and again, I couldn't find where it said in the rulebook, I'm actually, first of all, I'm going to take out 2 dice at random. So those are going to be the Cardinal bot's dice for this turn. And then I'm just going to roll the rest of them. And these get placed on this here. So we've got some 5s, we've got 2 5s. I always place these in the wrong place. A couple of 3s, just so happens these have come out the same colour. We have a couple of 4s, which go there. We have a 2, and we have a 1. Right, okay. So that's the preparation phase done. I think that's all you do in the preparation phase. Let me just double check this. It's been a while since I played this, and I think I've only played it twice, but I remember really liking it. So, action phase. So we're going to be doing 3 actions each. We're going to be drafting dice from here, but on the first player's turn, we reveal the rightmost one. And that says, that's corruption. So both of these markers are going to move down 2 spaces. We're going to have to gain favour with the king to move it up. And yeah, there's unfortunate colour mismatch on the printing of these tiles in that some of them are lighter than others. It's really unfortunate how that's happened. And I possibly might do something about it. I don't know. But once you get to know which ones have got the light backs and which ones have got the dark backs, I'm going to try and forget that if I can. So anyway, that's the first thing that happens. And then the bot takes its first turn. Right. So this is where, I mean, this game has a solo book. And as I say, people who like complex solo modes will say that this is a relatively easy solo mode. For me, this is a relatively complex solo mode because I don't do these type of solo modes normally. So, Cardinal bot's action resolution. Here's what we do on the Cardinal's turn. First thing we do is we always return this marker here to the leftmost. So remember, these 6 are in a line and it always goes back to the first one at the start of each of its turns. Then what we do is we roll the 2 cardinal bot dice. And we've rolled a 3 and a 3. Interesting. And then we work out the difference between those 2 dice. And that's how far this little marker moves along. So because we've rolled the dice of the same, that means that it's not going to move along. So this is the card that we're going to be resolving. And we're going to try and resolve the things on this card. If we can't, we'll then move on to this card. And if we can't do those, we'll move on to this card. And so on and so forth. Just going to have a little bit of a cough. Right. So, and the card says, Mercantile Empire, it's going to do the merchant action. Right. So what we do is we look at this board here. The merchant action is this one. Now, this action is the value 1 dice, but 6 action points. So we look at the Joker action, which is only 2 action points. So it will take this die. Now, if there was more than 1 die here, we would actually look at the bottom of this card and it would tell us which one it takes. But as it is, there is only 1 dice there. So that's the one it's going to take. And it's going to do the merchant action. So let's have a look in the solo rulebook as for the merchant action. Because there's a whole series. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of rules here for what it does. Now, these are summarized on the back. But until you know the game, you might not want to just use the back. I don't want to rely on the back when I don't actually know how it works. So the merchant action. In summary, what it's going to try and do is it's going to relocate its merchant if necessary. Oh, it gets resources. It gets 1 gold. There you go. Because there's a value 1 on the die and it was a yellow die. Thank you very much, Marco. Yeah, got that. So it's going to relocate merchant if necessary. Then it's going to place a house. Then it's going to do a reach bonus, whatever that is. And then it's going to reach to relocate merchant, extending reach if necessary. So reach is a thing in this game. And understanding how reach works is important. I don't fully understand how it works, but I'm sure I will in the next 5-10 minutes. Basically, this action has got 6 action points. So the reach is anywhere within 6 of where it is. And that shouldn't be there. That should be there. Yeah, because you draw a random town tile to decide where its merchant goes. And the architect goes on the cathedral with the cost of 2 stone and 3 points. So that should be in Paris. So anyway, it's doing a merchant action and the range is 6 because it's got 6 action points. So basically within 6 of London. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way down here. All the way down here. So all of this area here, this is all within reach. Oh, the bot takes the shield. Yes, okay, yeah, sorry. It also takes that bonus token. Now, bonus tokens, as I briefly mentioned at the start, it ignores most of them, but it does collect crests. And it also, because of this card, it collects those ones. But anything else, it just discards straight away. So it's got that, and if it gets 3 food, it's going to move that crest into one of its buildings. Right, so anyway, the merchant. 1. If the cardinal bot can legally build a house in the current location of its merchant, skip this step. So, can it legally build a house in the current location of its merchant? I believe it can, because there is space and it's there, so I think it can. So in other words, we skip this step, which is good because that's like half a paragraph, half a page. So it doesn't need to relocate its merchant. Then step 2, the cardinal bot places a house in its merchant's current location, i.e. the new location if it moved in the previous step. This does not cost an action point. So there you go, it's built a house in London. The cardinal bot ignores all printed rewards on house spaces on the game board except for victory points. There was no victory points on it, so it doesn't get any. Right, next. Step 3, find a bonus tile within reach of the cardinal's bot's merchant. So here we go. This is where we are looking for a valid bonus tile within 6 of this. And there's lots of bonus tiles available. So we look at page 14 and it tells us the priority in which it will take them, which is basically crests. Crests first. If it can take a crest, it will. Otherwise, it goes down the line. And remember, anything other than crests normally do nothing. But in our game, because of that card, it's actually going to get something for those. So, Find a bonus tile within reach of the Cardinal's Box Merchant. Well, there's quite a few, and the tiebreaker is crests, and there is a crest here. However, it doesn't have that crest, which is good, because it will not take a crest if there's already one of the same type. I think that it's got. Let me just double check that, because I think it sometimes can. Crests, tiebreaker, crests it don't have. Oh no, so as a tiebreaker, it would take a crest that it doesn't have by preference. So if that was the only crest available on within range, within reach, and it already had it, it would take it, but it would remove it from the game. Whereas it doesn't have that one, so I think that's the one it's going to take. And it says, take it, don't move there, don't spend an action point. Right, okay, so it's taking that one. It's now got 2 crests. Wow. Step 4, find a town with an available house space within reach of the Cardinal Bots Merchant. Well, loads of them, right? So in other words, it can get quite far away. If multiple such towns are available, yes, use the following tiebreakers. So, 1, the town where the next upcoming fair will be held. Well, that's Tiletum, and it's already got a house in Tiletum. The town with an empty house space, which also has a printed VP reward. Right. Is there a house space with a printed VP reward? No. In fact, where are they? Here. Okay, so the only ones are down in Vienna and Florence. So it's not those. Next, a town with an empty house space which also has another printed reward. Well, there is a printed reward there, and there's a printed reward there. And I think that's it. I don't think this one's within reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I think it's these two. I think it's Hamburg and Köln. Yeah, he can extend reach by paying gold, but I think it only does that if no such towns are within reach. Extend its reach to select the town with its house closest to the merchant using tiebreakers above and necessary. So if it can find one within reach, it won't pay gold to extend. So it's basically, it's found one. It's either Hamburg or Köln, and the next tiebreaker is the closest one, which is Köln. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that is the closest one. And what did it do? It's found a town with an available house space, and it moves its merchant to the town. So it doesn't build there, it's just moving there ready for next time. And I think that's it. I think that is the bot's first turn. It did the merchant action, it took the die, it got the bonus, which was that, and then it did the merchant action. Except it does a lot more than we do. It built a house there, and it moved. But what else did it do? I took a bonus tile as well, didn't it? Yeah, it's a bit cheaty, this bot. Right, so now there are other things that the bot can do. Marco says you evaluate it at each tiebreaker. I don't think you do. No, that's not the way it's written. It's after all of those bullet points. There are 4 bullet points, and then it says, if no such towns are within reach. But there are towns within reach. So yeah, I think that's how it works. That's the way I'm going to play it. I think that's right. It's only if it can't find any towns within reach that it will then start paying gold to extend its reach. I think that's the way I'm going to play it. Unless somebody points out that that's wrong. Right, so yeah, there are things that the bot will do on each of its turns afterwards. There are 3 things that you have to check after it's performed its actions. Crests. If it has an inactive crest and it can pay 3 food, it will, but it can also make up the difference with 2 gold each. So it has 2 gold. It could use that 2 gold as if it was 1 food, but that's not enough. Cathedrals. If it had a pillar on the board and it had the right stone, it could now build a cathedral. And then contracts. If it had an unfulfilled contract, it would try and fulfill it and score 5 points. It can't do any of those 3 things, so it's my go. Brandon confirms it won't pay gold unless it has to. Yeah, we're all good. Right. We've done the first turn. We've done the first AI turn of the game. It's now my first turn, and I have absolutely no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. This is one reason why I'm not a big fan of these types of solo modes, is that I have to spend most of my brain power in running the bot, which means I have none left to even think about my move, let alone remember how to play the game. Now, I was the second player, so I start with 3 gold, and I think there was something in the game, wasn't there? You could spend 2 gold to adjust the dice. I remember that, but can you spend 2 gold as if it was a resource? I've read that somewhere. I read that again this morning, and I can't remember exactly where it is in the rule book, but I think you can. Is it a task? Yeah, spend 2 gold to gain 1 other resource. Right, you can. So you can buy resources for 2 gold each. So yeah, I don't have a master plan other than we want to look at these scoring tiles. So let's have a look through the scoring tiles now. The first fair is in Tiletum, and we're going to score points for houses on the board. So houses on the board are good. Then there's going to be a fair in Frankfurt, and that looks like, I don't think we're going to be able to do that one at the start of the game, because that looks like completed buildings to me. Score points for each character on floors 2 and 3. Oh no, right, just for a character on floor 2 and 3. Okay, so we could do that. The fair in Leipzig is victory points for each fulfilled contract and crest on your player board. Okay, and then the final one, a fair in Troyes, is points for each fulfilled contract and 1 cathedral tile in your possession. So these 2 are both for fulfilled contracts. Try saying that 3 times fast. So I'm thinking if I go down to the heavy contract route, that's going to pay me for both of these. Okay, and the contracts are here, and you get them with the contract action, which is that one, and you fulfill them by having basically resources. But there is a crest here as well, and crests are always good. So yeah, I mean, we could go here. I mean, this is the Joker action. It's only 2 action points, but it is a 5 on the dice, and a 5 on the dice is going to be 5 wool. Yeah, I mean, there's so many choices in this game. I really do enjoy this game. It is one of my favourite games of the year it came out. Certain games just click with me more than others, and this one just clicked with me. I really enjoyed the multiplayer game of this, which is, oh, Monica's making me hungry. Spicy noodles. I'm still eating turkey sandwiches, leftover turkey from Christmas. Right, which one are we going to do? I mean, that's the architect action. It's 5 points with 3 points for a character action. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, we could do a character action, because the character action could be to take the character and put them into here, which is actually going to score me for that. How do we get houses on the board? Houses on the board is the merchant action. And there's all of these bonus tiles as well. Oh, there's so many things in this game. There's so many things. And you get points at the end of the game for pillars and houses. I have revealed that one. Should I have revealed them from left to right? I don't think it matters, but I revealed that one. So we're at -2. And if anybody's got any suggestions of what I should do, then let me know, because I'm thinking, I don't really know. I mean, completed houses is a good thing. Completed houses is a good thing because when you complete a house, you get these action point multiplier things. So maybe I should go for that first. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's take this die here. Right, there you go. Decision made. I'm going to take that die. It is a 3. I'm not going to change it. It's a dark grey 3, which means, in fact, I'm just going to move these resources over here. You can't see them on camera, can you? There you go. Right, so I've got 3 stone. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Nice. Right, next. And I get the bonus tile. Now, that's a bonus tile that goes in there. Right? And then I get 4 action points to spend on the character action. So the character action, I can take a character for 1 and put them in here. I can move them into here, or I can recycle all of the characters. The difference between the character action and the contracts is the characters refresh immediately, I believe, when you take them. So how many have I got? I've got 4 action points. So I'm going to use these to track my actions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, what am I going to do with these 4 actions? I mean, that to me says, take a character, move it to there, and then take another character. That's what I'm thinking of doing. And we have 3 characters with this on. And that's got a house symbol on. So that might be quite good. Let me just check what that one does. Is that a house anywhere? Surely it can't be. I love the way that Board and Dice put in the back of their rulebooks pretty much an explanation of everything. It is place 1 house where your merchant is. Right, okay. So, not quite good at the moment. Yeah, build a house where your merchant is. Does the track in the bottom left feel like it should be in the game to you? Oh, you mean this track? Well, there is a 6th action. So, yeah, it's all right. I mean, this is the easy bit. This is the really easy bit. Yeah, I don't mind this bit. So I'm going to spend 1 character action to take that. Now that replenishes immediately. Ooh. But I might as well take that one. I'm going to spend another 1 to take that one. So I've taken those 2. And then, is this the right preset for my player board? It is. Right. So I've spent 2 character point action things to take those 2. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to use this one. I'm going to spend 2 character action points to put that in there. Now, that gets me the 3 gold immediately. And it does mean that I can't put these anywhere else. So that building now is locked. So I get 3 gold. That's loads of gold. Look at that. I could do all sorts with this. That's it. So, do I want to do anything else as a task? I don't think I do. I've already got a house. I've already got a thing. We've done that. Nah, it's the food. Yeah, I don't have the food. Although 2 gold could be a food. So if I really wanted to, but no, I think I want to take food next turn. Right, it is now the AI's 2nd turn. So what we do is reveal this again. It's -1, so that goes to there, that goes to there. We then roll the 2 dice. We've rolled a double 5 again. I say a double 5 again. We rolled 2 dice the same again. That means we are resolving this card again. But this time, it can't do the actual merchant action because there is no dice here. So it's going to do the Joker action instead and select the merchant one. I think that's right. So it takes this dice. It is a 5 wool, and it's going to get that bonus. Now, that bonus doesn't do anything for it, so that's just removed from the game. But it does get 5 wool. I think I've done that right. Let me know if I've done that wrong, but I think that's right. It can't do the merchant action. And we know exactly what the bot does this time, so we can refer to the back of the rulebook now that we know what it's doing. Merchant action. If unable to build a house. Well, it can build a house where it is, so it does. So it takes a little house and it puts it on there. Now, there's a bonus on that house, but the bot ignores all bonuses except for victory point bonuses. So we've done that. Next, take the best bonus tile within reach. Now, this time, the reach is different. The reach this time is only 2. So, unlike the last time where it had 6 reach, we are now, it's only got a reach of 2, but it does have 2 gold. So, first of all, the best bonus tile within reach. Now, there is a bonus tile here in Antwerp. Yeah, that should be there, which is 1 away. And this one's 2 away. So it can get to the one in Antwerp, or it can get to the one in Strasbourg. So we look on page 14, and this is actually summarised on, I've got a spare player board here. It's on the back of the player board as well. This actually tells you the order, I believe, of the bonus tiles that it will take. but I'm just going to double check for my own benefit. So that is a bonus contract. That is down in position 5, whereas this one is an action helper. I think that's an action helper, which is in position 4. So it's taking that one. So that's the one it's taking instead of that one. So how does it get contracts then? If it's going to discard these bonus contract tiles, if the cardinal bot gains a crest, yeah. If the cardinal bot gains any other tile, it is removed from the game. So how does it get contracts? I might have missed something on the contract action. Yeah, so am I right in thinking that the only way for it to get actual contracts is the contract action from here? It can't pick up bonus contract. Yeah, okay, that's right. Thank you. So this is the priority. So it's taking that one, and it doesn't do anything with that one. It removes it from the game. Right, next. Move to the best available town. Right, so upcoming fair is Tiletum. It doesn't need to go to Tiletum, it's already there. Highest victory points. Other reward. Closer. So we are looking for a town that it can build in. The priority is there. Forget that, it's not. And it's interesting. Why is it trying to build a house where the fair is when it doesn't need to do that? Maybe it's to stop me doing it. Yeah, maybe. But it's only doing it the next upcoming fair, not the one afterwards. So it's a bit short-sighted, is this bot. Highest VP, well, that's down here. They're not within reach. Rewards, there's one reward here, but it's 3 away. And this has only got a reach of 2. So I think it can't build in Antwerp because that's 3 only, that's 3 only. I think it's going to Frankfurt. It's either Frankfurt, Strasbourg, or Nuremberg. They are within... Oh, no, it can't build there. So the only towns where it can build a house that's within 2 is Frankfurt and Strasbourg, and the tiebreaker is the closest one. So I think it's moving its merchant to Frankfurt. I think that's right. And if it couldn't find one, that's when it would spend gold. Right, okay. So at the end of its turn, there's the 3 things that it can do. Can it activate a crest? No. Can it build a cathedral? No. Can it fulfill a contract? No. Right, it's done. My go. Okay, I've had 1 turn. So, what are we going to do now? I mean, we've still got some nice juicy bonuses here. And we did say that I wanted some food so that I could place that crest on there, which would allow me to move my merchant to anywhere I want to move it to. So that seems sort of like a combo, sort of. And that's going to allow me to place my +2 action point marker somewhere on the board. In fact, it'll place it there. You don't choose where it goes. Okay, so we could do this. We could totally do this. I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to choose this die here. It's a pink 4, which means I get 4 food. So I now have 5 food. I take this bonus tile, which I put there. So at some point, I can use that tile to get 2 merchant action points. Yep. Which could be here. Because you can use merchant action points just to take tiles. Let me just remind myself. 1 action point to move, 1 action point to add a house, and 1 action point to take a bonus tile. So I could just move to Paris and take the bonus tile. Could absolutely do that. And that's what I'm thinking of doing. But let's do the main action first. I have 3 action points to use for taking contracts. Now, these don't replenish until after I've finished, but you've also got this. So I can spend 1 contract point to exchange 1 resource for another one. And the first time I do it, I get a bonus resource. So, did I forget to refill the characters? I did forget to refill the characters. Thank you. Right. I'm tempted to do that because that is basically one free resource. But do I need the free resource? I don't know. I don't know if I do. Sure, let's do it. Let's spend one of my contract points. What's that? That's 11 with a king on it. Does that mean I move one space up the king track as well? Yeah, it probably does. So I'm going to spend one of my 3 contract points to exchange a gold for 2 wool. No, 2 iron. Right, I've got 2 contract points left. I mean, we could take that, but no, I think I want a contract. I'm going to take this one. So I'm going to spend 2 contract points to take that one. That goes on there. And then after I've finished spending all of my contract points, these slide to the right, and then we get a new one. Now, it's still my go, and I am still going to do other stuff. I am going to use this tile. So this gives me 2 merchant action points. I will travel to Paris. I will buy some croissants and a baguette and one of those black and white striped shirts and some onions to put around my neck and a bicycle and a beret. Because that's what you do in Paris. And I'm going to spend my other action point to take that. And then I will immediately use that to take 2 gold and 2 points. I don't seem to have any points. Where's the points? Points. There you go. Right. Have I done that right? The food token is a 5. Yes, this food token here is 5 food. So I think I've done that right. I've moved the merchant to do the thing, and to do the thing. Right. I should be selling things, not buying things. Yes, I should. Is that kind of merchant. So now I've also got this. I could spend the 5 food to go on there. And if I do, I might do that next time. I might do that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm now seeing for this. Oh, yeah, there's so many things. So many different things. And the variability in the game is the way that these come out and the board and then these. It's a different puzzle every time. I think we're done. I think my second turn is done. I don't want to do any of the other tasks. So 0. It's not moving. Right. We're going to roll the dice again. Here we go. Let's see what happens. See what happens this time. Do we roll the same numbers again? I've rolled a 5 and a 3. So, because I'm good at maths, the difference between those two is 2, which means we go 1, 2. Now, as you can see, this card is a little bit more complicated. And I got stuck with this when I was learning this earlier on, but a big thank you to all of my patron supporters on the Slack channel. They helped me work through this. So what we've got is we've got a series of criteria, and we're going to follow through these from top to bottom until we get to one that it can do. And the first one is, does it have at least 1 unfulfilled contract? Well, no, it doesn't. So we skip that. Next, is there a new crest in reach? Now, what is the reach at this point? I don't know what the reach is at this point. So I might need a bit of help with this one. Let me try and work this out. Where is it at the moment? Its merchant is here. There is a crest here. It's 3 away. So I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. New crest in reach, merchant action. It's described in the rulebook. Here we go. It says, new crest in reach, merchant action. Resolve the decree card. Each card to 4 actions. Or is it? Right, we've got some examples. Yeah, so it's in an example. There is an example, new crest in reach. Well, the crest is in Venice is quite close. There is no available die on the merchant. Ah, right. Okay, so I think what we're doing is we're saying potentially the merchant action. So there isn't a merchant die available, but there is a joker die available. And if it takes the joker die, it's only got 2 action points, and there isn't one within reach of 2. Is that right? Let's see. Apparently Paul's right. Guessing the reach is whatever reach it would get for taking the merchant action at this point. Yeah, you're exactly right. So if it was to take either the merchant or the joker action, it can't take the merchant action because there's no dice. If it took the joker action, it's only got 2 action points and the reach is 2. And it can't get to that in crest. Have it already got that crest? Oh, it's already got that crest. So forget that. Yeah, it's a new crest. It doesn't want that crest. It's already got that. Okay, so yeah, we skip that one. And we go to the next one, which is new crest in reach, architect action. Well, again, there are no other crests on the board other than that one, and it's already got that one. Finally, the contract action, which it can do. There is a dice there. If it takes the contract action, it gets 3 action points. If it takes the joker, it gets 2 action points. So it's going to take that. It gets 4 gold for doing that. And we're now going to do the contract action. Right, which is an action we've not seen yet. I think this one's easier. Right, it's going to spend its action points with the following priorities. It's going to try and take a new crest, which it can. Take ready contracts. Take 1 contract, gain resources. So first of all, it's got action points. It has 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to spend its action points respecting the costs printed below the tiles, as you would, and ignoring any tile at which it doesn't have the action points left for. First of all, it takes all the crests that it does not have going from the right to the left. So it spends 2 of its action points and it takes that one. So it's got 3 crests. Wow. Then, well, I mean, it's only got 1 left. So it would take a contract which is ready, which I think means the ones that it has already got the resources for. If point B was skipped and it has at least 1 empty contract space, yes. Choosing the one for which it is missing the fewest resources. Well, it's only got 1 left. So I think it takes this one. Yeah, I think it takes that one with its 1 action point left. So it has an unfulfilled contract of needing 7 iron. Oh, and if it takes a ready contract, it doesn't need space on its board because it fulfills it immediately. Okay, that's useful to know. But I think we're done. I think that's its contract action done. I'm a little concerned that it's got 3 crests already. But let's have a look at the things that it can do at the end of its turn. Can it activate a crest? Yes, it can. Right, okay, so here we go. It now has the gold, so it can pay the 1 food and 4 gold as if it was 2 food. And it now has 3 food and it places 1 of its crests. So it does do that. And it says, oh, and it can do this task as many times as possible. It can't afford it a second time. So it basically places a crest, doesn't matter which one, and it goes left to right, and it gets 5 points for doing that. It can have only 1 active crest in the bottom row of each building. It places the crest in a building with 2 characters if present. It's got no characters, so I think it goes there. But it doesn't unlock that. I think it only unlocks that when it's full. Yeah, so it didn't do any character actions. It doesn't do any cathedrals. It doesn't do any contracts because it doesn't have 7 iron. And that's it. Have I done that right? Let me know. I think I've done that right. Right, my turn. So this is my last turn before the first fair. Is there any way that I can get any extra houses out and on the board? There's so few dice left. So there are things that we can do here. I could take the Joker action, choose the merchant action. I've only got 2 action points. But those 2 action points, I could then spend 5 food to put a crest here, to move my merchant anywhere, and then build a house. We could totally do that. That is very much an option. It's going to get us a house on the board. That's going to get us some points. Points are good. What does this icon mean? It's a little house with 3 things in it. I've seen that icon a few times. Let's have a look. What icon says... Where have I seen it? Try and find it before somebody in the chat tells me what it is. Here we go. After building a house on a space with this symbol, immediately select one of your buildings that includes at least 1 character and receive each character bonus once. Okay. Right. So. Activates all your people in a house. Yes. Building in front before the bot blocks you is probably good. Ah, that's a very good point. We know that it is about to build a house here. And if we get there and build a house, although we're not going to get any bonus from it, we're going to score extra points in the fair, and it means we're already there for the fair in Frankfurt. Yeah, good point. I think that's what we're going to do. I am going to take this die. It is a 5 light grey, which gets me 5 wool, which means I can complete that contract. So I'm going to do that. And I have 2 action points. Oh, hello, Loki. You're going to come and join me for some Tiletum? Come on. Come on. Up you come. Oh, he's thinking about it. Come here, you. Yes. Here we go. Hello. We're playing some Tiletum. Yes, we are. Right, what we're going to do. You've no idea what's going on. You've got such an adoring audience and you don't know. He's going to get his own YouTube channel, I think. He's probably going to get more subscribers than me. You going to do some solo playthroughs? Yeah. You sit there. Here you go. Right, have a look at the pointy stick. What were we doing? Just slightly distracted there by cats. That's it, 2 action points. So before we do anything, I'm going to do my spend 5 food to put this crest here. That allows me to move my merchant to anywhere on the board. Okay, it's a little inefficient. Only because I'm moving it 3 spaces. But, you know, okay. Then I've got 2 action points with my merchant. The first action point is going to be to put a house in Frankfurt. I've still got 1 action point left. And I don't really know what to do with that action point. I mean, you can also spend your gold to adjust the dice. So there is other stuff that I could have done. But I think I wanted to do that. Yeah, what am I going to do with my 1 remaining action point? There's not much about, is there? Do we want to head to Troyes? Or over to Leipzig? Oh, I don't know. Can you pay to move further? You can't, can you? I don't think. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Let's go to... Let's go to Strasbourg. Yeah. Right. I think that's it. I'm doing the contract. So I have a contract. I spend 2 wool, 1, 2, 3, and 2 iron. And I have fulfilled my first contract, which goes on there. And I believe gets me the 6 points straight away and unlocks another pillar. That's what the contracts do. Dan's popped in. Hi, Dan. Thank you for joining in. Yes, it is cool. I do like this game. I think you'd like this game as well. Very interesting dice selection mechanism. Anything else I can do on my turn? I have so much gold. But I don't think there's anything. I want to buy other action points, and I don't think I can. So, yeah, I think we're done. Right. So that was the action phase done. So then what we do is we go to whatever the fourth phase is. The king phase. Is it the king phase? Yeah, the king phase is next. So there's some differences to this. And I didn't get to this point in the rulebook, so it's going to be a little bit rough from here on in, but there's quite a lot of extra rules for the king phase. Performed normally, including scoring positive and negative VP for both you and the cardinal bot. So I'm down here on -3. The cardinal bot is on 0. Right. The cardinal bot, if he's ever below the 3, cardinal bot resets to 3, whereas I reset to 0. And then the cardinal bot gets that because he was ahead of me. Collects the bonus tile, resolves it immediately. Yeah, okay, well, I think that's it. That was quite easy, actually. Adjust the markers on the turn track. We've done that, because normally they would all go back to 0. And then the fair phase. So we're having a fair in Tiletum. Both of us have got a house in Tiletum, so we both score. The cardinal bot scores even if it doesn't have a merchant or a house present in the city. For contracts, you count the face-down tiles in its fulfilled contracts pile. Nope. For crests, count the active ones on its player board, not the inactive ones. Yeah. For columns and houses, count its pillars and houses on the main board normally. So we basically score 2 points plus 2 points per house. He's got 3 houses, so he's going to score 8 points. I've got 2 houses, so I score 6 points. And I think that's it. I think that is the first fair done. After the fair, return the leftmost decree card to the box. Ah, right. Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It doesn't want to do that anymore. He gets 12. Does he get 12? Oh, sorry, it's 2 plus 2. Ah, is it? Is it 2 plus 2 per house, or is it 4 per house? I think you might be right. I think it's 4 points per house. So how many did I give it? I gave it 8. It needs another 4. I was doing my maths wrong. And for me, I scored 6, and I actually should have scored 8. Is that right? So it's not 2 points plus 2 points per house. It's 2 points plus 2 points per house. Let me just check the rule book, see what that says. Score points per house. Oh, well, okay. Hang on. I do believe you. I just want to see it in black and white. Yeah, it is that. Right, okay, thank you. So that's the first fair done, and we go to round 2. So round 2, we shuffle all the corruption mark. I know we get a new bonus tiles, so we replenish these. We also replenish the bonus tile on the king space. We do not replenish the bonus tiles on the board. I don't know if we reset the characters and the contracts. Cleanup phase. Done that. Shuffle all corruption tokens. Right, so you shuffle all the corruption tokens together. Oops. In fact, you don't really need to put 3 out, do you? You could just keep them all in a stack. I might do that, actually. Might just keep them all in a stack. So an all dice to the bag. Rotate the action wheel 1 step clockwise. Clickety-click. So, up till now, I'm enjoying it. I am very much enjoying the game. As I say, it's not my preferred solo mode because I'm not able to fully concentrate on my game. But also, I've only played the base game twice. And it was a few months ago. So I'm a little bit rusty with the... with the base game rules, but no, so far, yeah, I think the solo mode appears to be very cleverly designed to simulate another player, which is what all of these are. Right. I think we're ready. Turn order hasn't changed because the bot was ahead of me. So off we go. Dice. Nothing else that I've missed, is there? Get the bag of power. Yeah, Lacrimosa solo I've not tried yet. That would have been the other one that I would have played. And if I wasn't busy tomorrow, I'd be tempted to do that tomorrow. I'll see what my plans are for next week, but I've got a full week next week. There's no way I'm going to do it next week. Right, I'm going to take 2 dice out. They are the Cardinal Bots dice. Right, let's roll these. Roll them bones. Oh, gosh. We have some 3s. We have 3 2s. We have 2 1s. Wow. Look at that. Okay. So, first bit of corruption is a 0. So, nothing moves. Next. It's the bot. So, we're going to roll the bot's dice. Hi, Matt. Thank you for popping in. And Atua. Yes, I really wanted to play Atua as well. Yeah, these are the bot's dice. 5 and a 1. Right, so 5 and a 1. The difference is 4. I've probably pressed the wrong button. Yeah, that's the wrong button. That's the button we want. So the difference is 4, which means we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is interesting. Now that that leftmost card has been removed, what happens if I now do a 6 and a 1? Does it wrap round? Ooh, I don't know. Move the cardinal bot that many decree cards to the right. It doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say. Anybody know? No wrapping. It advances to the last card. Okay, it's on the last card, which is Worldly Riches, which is simply the highest die of any colour. And the tiebreaker is the resource that it's most required. So if we actually have a look at its contract, we can see it requires iron for its contract. So it wants to take the highest dice of any colour, and the tiebreaker is what it needs, which means it's taking this one. Because this is the highest dice, and the tiebreaker is it needs that. So it gets 3 iron. I think that's right. 1, 2, 3. And it takes this bonus tile, and this bonus tile is one of the ones that it doesn't do anything about, so that disappears. And it's doing the contract action. Yeah, it's taken that die, so it's doing the contract action. Now, what happens if that die was on the Joker? What action would it then do? I don't know. I don't know. Because I've not got to this point yet. I've not had this before. Where are we? Where are we? We've done that. We've done that. We've done that. Difference between the two. Yeah, so check the first condition. So we've done that. Receives resources corresponding to the dice. Takes the bonus tile. Resolve the cardinal bot's action based on where it took the die from. If the die is from a specific action, resolve it. If it's from the Joker, resolve the action specified on the decree card. If the die is from the Joker but no action was specified, it performs the 2 actions printed below. Right, okay, it's in the rules. So we don't need that because it took a die from this section, so it's doing the contracts action. Right, okay, we've done the contracts action before, so let me just remind myself how this works. It's got 4 action points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, first of all, is there a crest that it doesn't have? No. There is 1 crest there and it already has it. Are there any of these which are ready? Now, it has 6 wool and 4 iron. So no, yes. It can take that one. because that bag means any resource, but they have to be the same, I think. Yeah, so it can take this one. This is one that it can definitely take because this is classed as a ready contract. So it spends 2 of its contract points and it takes this one and it immediately fulfills it. Now, I don't know what it pays for the bags. I have seen that in the solo rules somewhere. So, and it takes all of the ready contracts that it could do. So it could potentially... No, it can't. I did reset the corruption tokens. Yeah, I shuffled them all in and started again. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Right, so fulfilling contracts. The bags, what do the bags mean? Where is that? That will be in the contract section. On tiles showing any resource, the cardinal bot spends resources in the following priority order. Gold, food if it has 4 or more, and then wool or iron, whichever it has the more of. Never spend stone on contracts. Right, so first of all, it needs 3 wool. So it's got the 3 wool. Right, and then next priority is wool or iron, whichever it has the most of. It actually has more iron, so it spends 3 iron. Right, there you go. It has fulfilled the contract. So it gets the 8 points. I can't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that goes on its fulfilled contract pile. Right, and that was 2 contract action points. The next thing it's going to do is it takes all the ready contracts. It's done that. Right, see, if point B was skipped, point B was not skipped. So it doesn't take another contract. Ah, right. Okay, so it only takes another contract if it didn't fulfill one in step B. Right. So for each remaining action point, which is 2, it receives one of its most required resources, which is iron again, because it wants the iron for that. There you go. Done. Would have used gold if it could. Yes, gold is its first priority, but it only had 2 gold. So if it had 3, it would have spent the gold. Right, that's it. Can it do the contract? No. Can it build a pillar? No. What's the third thing that it wants to do? I always forget the third thing. Activate crests. Can't do that. Time for a drink of water. Right, my go. So it's back to me. We've got a fair in Frankfurt coming up. I have a house in Frankfurt, which means I need more characters in level 2 and level 3. And there is a character action here with 5 action points. So that's totally what we want to do. Did I give the bot 5 extra VPs? I didn't. Does it get 5 extra? Oh, it does. Wow. Okay, thank you. Right. Well, we're totally doing character actions. Do we want stone or do we want food? I think at this stage I want stone. So I'm going to take this 2, put it on there and get myself 2 stone. I now have, I take the bonus tile, and I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 action points. Let's just refresh that. 5 action points to buy characters. Right, so I want 1 more. Shouldn't have taken that earlier. Should not have taken that. Okay, right. Ooh, there's some good things here. So I've got 5. You either take them or place them. So I can take 2 and place 1 in the 3. I can't. No, because yeah. I've already got merchant women in that column. So I'm probably going to put that in there just to complete it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 1 of my 5. I'm going to put that in there. It gets me a wool. And that is now completed, which unlocks the house, and I get my +2 marker there. So every time I do that action, I get an extra 2 action points. Right. I've got 4 actions left here. These are useless to me. Oh, I can recycle them. Yeah, you can cycle them around, can't you? But I think I'm going to take this one for 1. And then for 2... No, hang on. I'm going to replace it. Two or 3. I think I'm going to spend 2 to put this one here. Let's just show you my player board so you can see what's going on. So I've put that one there. That cost me 2 action points, and that gets me 2 more iron. And then I've got 1 action point left. And with that remaining 1 action point, I'm going to take this one. Now, if I wanted to, I could use this. This is 3 action points for merchants. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to use this tile right now to get myself 3 merchant action points. Now, do I get the +2? I don't think I do. I think that's only when you take dice, because the icon is that. So I don't think I get the +2. Tiletum is in Belgium, apparently. Yes, it's there. It is a very famous town, very famous trading town back in the day. So I'm doing 3 merchant actions. The first merchant action is to build a house in Strasbourg. The second merchant action is to move to Troyes. And then the third merchant action is to build a house in Troyes. Yeah, sure. I've just got loads of houses on the board now. Bit late, but okay. I think that's it. I think that's my go done. No other contracts to fulfill. I've done that. I'm happy with that. That's worked. Yes. Right. Over to Cardinal Bolt. So -2 on this King's track. Yeah, houses times pillars. Yeah, definitely. Okay, 2 dice are, it's a 6 and a 2. So again, what we do is we reset this back to the start, and then we're moving 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. It's doing it again. It's going to take the highest die of any colour. So that is either of the 2 3s. And which one does it want? It's the most required. It doesn't require either of these. So is there another tiebreaker? There's a whole section in the rules about most required. I saw it earlier on. At least I think I saw it earlier on. Most required. Anytime you need to determine the cardinal bolt's most required resource, for each such resource, right, first of all, stone for cathedrals. If the cardinal bot is able to build at least 1 cathedral tile due to having a pillar in place but does not have enough stone. Well, he doesn't have any pillars on the board, so forget that. Food for crests. If the cardinal bot has an inactive crest, yes. Oh, perhaps it should have taken this last time, actually. Yeah, I think it should have taken this rather than the iron. Yeah, it's stone for cathedrals first, then it's food for crest. So I made a mistake earlier on. Apologies for that. Then it is iron and wool for contracts. This is also used as a tiebreaker amongst die colours when resolving. Yeah, I got it wrong earlier on. So in fact, food for crests comes before the iron and wool for contracts. So it's going to take that one. It's fine because it's still there, and it gets 3 food, and that 3 food goes on there. It will not spend that 3 food for contracts. Right, so that's what it's done, is it's taken the die, it's taken it from here, there was no bonus, but it now gets 4 action points for taking contracts. Okay, so we've done this a few times now. hopefully we should remember, but this is me we're talking about. Is there a crest? Yes, but it already has it, so we forget that one. Which ones of these can it fulfill? It cannot fulfill any of these. No, it can't fulfill any of them. So because it doesn't fulfill any of them, it will take one new contract with the fewest missing resources. So this one, no, this one, or this one. It's either this one or this one. This one's 5 wool and it's got 3 wool. This one is 5 iron and it has 3 iron, but it says greater than left. So I think it's going to go. I'd have thought it would go from right to left, not left to right. Choosing the one for which it is missing the fewest resources. Least expensive if tied. They're both worth 3. I'm not sure which one it takes. Yeah, no, the crests, it says it takes all crests it does not yet have. And it already has that one. So that specifically says that the contracts one, it will only take ones where it doesn't have them. Yeah, I'm not sure which one of these it takes. And yeah, you're right, Paul. A player would take the wool one because it already needs the iron for that one. And I think it would go from right to left. I think so, although there's something on the back page of the rulebook that says fewest missing resources and then arrow and then left. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go right to left. So we're going to take that one. And that goes there. And that costs 3. And then it spends this one to take one of its most required resources. So again, let's have a look at the required resources. Stone for cathedrals, no. Food for crests. It's got 3 food. But it says, if it has an inactive crest. Oh, hang on a minute. No. We did this wrong. It's if the cardinal bot has an inactive crest and at least one house filled with 2 characters on its player board without a crest, but does not have at least 3 food, then it takes food. So I actually got it wrong. It shouldn't have taken the food because it doesn't need the food. It only prioritizes food if it can, if there is a house filled with characters. So yeah, apologies for that. I gave it the food and I shouldn't have given it the food. I should have given it the gold. But in this case, we are spending 1 action point and we're going to spend it on iron stroke wool for contracts. If it has 1 or more unfulfilled contracts, it does. Iron or wool, whichever it needs to gain more of to complete its unfulfilled contract. It needs to gain more iron, so it gets an iron. Right, there you go. We're done. That is its second action. Character should have refreshed. Things slide to the right. New contract. Right, my go. So, what are we going to do? We know that if I do this action, I get an extra 2. So I could take this, turn it to a 6, go on here, and it gets me 3 action points. And it gets me 6 wool. That seems pretty strong. And it gets me 4 bonus points. That does seem pretty strong. But then what I'm doing is I'm traveling around with my merchant, but I've no more houses to build. But I could pick up the bonus tiles. We could totally pick up these bonus tiles. And there's loads of bonus tiles available. There's contracts and all sorts of stuff. Character for the fair. Well, I've already got 2 characters. If I can get a 3rd character, I mean, I can. That's 5 action points. That's 1, 2. It would get me an extra 8 points. If I did the character action, it would get 8 points. Or are you thinking this and use 6 action points for the architect and get the 3 character bonus? Yeah, go on. Because we got loads of resources. I'm swimming in resources. So we're going to take this one. The audience have spoken. That gets me 1 wool. I get this, which I'm probably going to use before my turn is over. And I get 6 architect points. Now, we've not seen any architect movement yet. But architects go around the board. They put pillars on. And they can build bits of the cathedral. And I don't know, where do we want to build? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 stone. London is the best cathedral. That's Westminster Abbey, I think. Because that costs 4 and is effectively 14 points. But it's quite a way away. How many have I got? Have I got 6? Yeah, I've got 6 action points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then again, this one in Bordeaux, this is also worth 14. So I could go to Paris, build a bit of that, then go to Bordeaux and build a bit of that. I think let's do that. So I'm going to send my architect. I'm going to spend 1 action point to move to Paris. I'm going to spend another action point to put a pillar in Paris. Then I'm going to spend another action point. No, it's not an action point to build a cathedral, is it? No, the building of a cathedral is a end of your turn thing. Or a sort of a whenever thing. You don't have to be there to do it. It's a task. Contribute to the building of any cathedral where you already have a pillar, spending the required number of stone. Yeah, so you can just do that whenever. Right. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got 1 left. This is all a bit rubbish down here. So we'll go back to this place in the middle of nowhere. Wherever that is. So that's my 6 architect action points used. I'm now going to do some tasks. I'm going to use this tile to give me 3 character points. To move that one. Sure, let's just put it in the top. Why not? And that gets me 2 movements up on the king track. No, in fact, we'll put it there and we'll take that one. Okay, so that's my 3 character action points used. I'm also going to build 2 cathedrals. So I spend 2 stone to build this, which gets me 6 points. So I've built that, Notre Dame. And then another 5 stone, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 2 gold as the extra stone to build this one, which gets me 14 points. There you go. What's the cathedral in Bordeaux called? I don't know. That's Notre Dame. I don't know what the one in Bordeaux is called. Answers in the chat. What is the cathedral in Bordeaux called? Anything else I want to do on my turn? I think I'm done. I think I've triggered those bonuses. I've built 2 pillars. I've built bits of the cathedral. So I think that's it for me. Right. Okay. Over to the AI. And then we're halfway through the game almost. We've got to roll a 5 and a 4. So we're going on to this card here. The Primatial Cathedral of St. Andrew. Thank you very much. I'm not a religious person at all, but I can respect the architecture of cathedrals. There's nothing like it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Something very special about it from an architectural point of view. Right. So we are looking at family alliances. This is what it's trying to do. Does it have at least 1 unfulfilled contract? Yes, it does. Right. So most required of either The iron, the wool, or the gold. Highest amongst dice of same colour. Okay. Oh, corruption. Yes, thank you. Got to do the corruption. Corruption is 2 down. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm not quite sure what it's going to take here, because there's 3 gold, but it's most required of, yeah, I'm not sure. It's either that one, because that's the most required, and it's the highest amongst the dice of the same colour. So I think it's going to take that one. Is that right? I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Yeah. I have very loud sneezes. So that's why I thought I'd better mute myself just in case. Yeah, this cold that I've had rumbling around for about a week and a half now, it is starting to come out, just about. So, what's it taking? Most required of blue and light grey are always shown together. If the cardinal bot has unfulfilled contracts, treat this icon as referring to the whichever of the 2 resources it needs to gain more of to complete its unfulfilled contract. Well, it needs to gain more iron than it needs to gain wool. So it's iron. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I might just have to just pick, but if anybody knows, we have a 1 wool and we have a 3 gold, and it says most required of iron stroke wool or gold, brackets highest amongst dice of same colour. So I'm not sure which one of those it chooses. I mean, there are the priorities at the bottom, if there are multiple ones available. So I'm leaning towards the gold, but it's the fact that it says highest amongst dice of same colour. So if there are dice of the same colour, it will take the highest one of those. And yeah, gold is more resources. We're going to take the gold. I'm not 100% sure if this is correct, but I think we're going to take the gold one. So it goes there, and it's going to take 3 gold. I don't think it's clever enough to work out that 3 gold is actually 1.5 resources, but that's what we've done. It's doing the contract action again. So it's got 4 action points to do the contract action. So, contract action, we've done this like 4 times and I still don't remember it. First of all, purchase a crest that it doesn't have. It doesn't have a crest. It doesn't. This is the one it doesn't have. So it buys that with 3. Okay, well, that was easy. Then, can it take any that it can fulfill? No. Which means it would take another one, but it can't because it's already got 2. And I don't think it takes another one if it's already full. Contract action. And it has at least 1 empty. No, it doesn't. Right. So it uses that and it takes iron because it needs more iron than it does. Right. Now, it's got loads of gold. So we haven't had this before, but I think it's now got lots of choices, lots of extra options of things that it can do that it couldn't do before. Crests. If the cardinal bot possesses an inactive crest and can pay 3 food, or make up the difference, then it will place the crest on the bottom row of its player board and score 5 points. It can perform this task as many times as possible. So it will do it even if the building has no characters in it. But it places the crest in a building with 2 characters if possible. It isn't. Right, so here's what it does. Is it spends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It spends the 5 food and it puts a crest, it doesn't matter which one, on there and it gets 5 points. Right. So that's the crest done. Cathedrals, it's not bothering with cathedrals. Contracts, it now can't do the contract. 3 food. Why did I spend 5 food? I have no idea why I just spent 5 food. Sorry, it should have just been 3 food. I've got 5 in my head somewhere. So it now can do a contract. It can do the contract because it can spend the gold in place. I don't know which contract it does. It has an unfulfilled contract and it has enough resources to do so. Although this doesn't say, hang on. This bit doesn't say that it can spend gold instead of the resources. So it said it for the crests. It said it can spend food, gold instead of food. And for cathedrals, it says it can spend gold instead of stone. But for contracts, it doesn't say that. So I think for the contracts, I think it needs exactly the goods that's shown on the tile. So I don't think it can fulfill the contract. Okay, so that's it. It's done. My last turn of the second round of the game. Right. Now, what are we going to do now? Because all of the bonus tiles have gone. So we could do the merchant thing. Although I don't really have any houses. And it would be 3 action points. It doesn't really get me that many places, does it? But I think we'll do it because I think that's going to set us up for a good future turn. Yeah, I am going to take this die, but I am going to spend 2 gold. And I'm going to turn it into a 6, which moves it to there. Brandon says it spends the gold only if it doesn't have enough wood or iron. Part 3 on page 6. I'm on page 6. Part 3. Oh, right. Yeah, it is there. Thank you. It requires the one for the... Okay, right. It does the... it does this one. It does the wool one. So it's 1, 2, 3. I just need to read further down. So it's done that. It gets 7 points plus 5. So it gets 12 points. 57. And there's a bonus on there, but I don't know whether it gets that bonus. Does it get the bonus? I don't think it does. Because I don't know how it would be clever enough to work out how to use that bonus. So I'm going to say it didn't get the bonus. Let me know if I got that wrong. Anyway, so we're taking this. I get 6 wool. And then I've got 3, or I get this, which is 4 points. And then I get 3 merchant action points, because I've got my +2 on there. So 3 merchant action points. We're just going to go, there's nothing good around here. So we're just going to go to Paris, Tiletum and Bruges. We're on the way to Antwerp. Yeah, we could have gone this way instead, but that's fine. We'll go the scenic route. Is there anything else I want to do on my turn? I haven't got any contracts, so I can't fulfill any contracts. Can't build any cathedrals because I've already done that. And I haven't got any crests. So I think we're done. I think that is it. So now we do the king phase again. So gets that. Loses 1 point. I lose 2 points. That goes back to 0. That goes back to 3. And the fair. So the fair happens in Frankfurt. I can score because I'm there. Because I've got a house there. And Cardinal Bot can score because it can score. But it's not going to get any points. The Cardinal Bot has not done any characters at all. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just not focused on that. Whereas me, I've got 3 characters at level 2. So that gets me 24 points. Wow. That seems good. 24 points. 10. 24. Yeah, ignores any of the benefit on the contracts. Thank you. So that is that fair done. So fair number 1 is done. Fair number 2 is done. And I think we're all done. So rotate that. Take these dice. I'm starting to get really hungry as well. It's hard work, this, running an AI bot. Right, we need to reset these. We need to replenish these. We need to replenish that one. And what else do we need to replenish? I think that's it. Oh, we need to remove that. Yeah, so we got 4 now, so I can actually put these in a line. There you go. Right, okay, so we are good to go for round 3. Not forgotten anything else, have I? Don't think I have. So I'm looking good for end of game scoring because it's pillars times houses. So I've got 8 points coming in at the end of the game. Right. 2 dice get taken out. The rest of the dice are being rolled. What have we got this time? 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Right, and the cardinal bot is first. So corruption is down by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Nobody taking the king action yet at all. Just the way that the dice have come out. Right, cardinal bot's turn. I've rolled a 4 and a 5, which means we're doing church communities. So the card of choice is church communities. And now that we're only on 1 row of cards, we can reset this and zoom in a little bit. Just so you can see what we're doing. There you go. Preset number 2. Yeah, we're halfway there. So, does it have more pillars on the board than it has cathedrals? No, it doesn't have any pillars on the board. Does it have at least 1 unfulfilled contract? Yes, it does. So it's going to take the most required. Well, it basically needs iron. So that's what it's going to take. It's got a contract on the board. It's unfulfilled. And it needs iron in order to do it. And there is an iron dice here. So that's the one it's going to take. I think that's simple. That goes there. It gets this bonus tile. Now this is a bonus tile that it can actually use because of that. So it is going to get something. And it gets 3 iron. But what does it get for the tile? Let's have a look at resourceful clergy. When the cardinal bot takes a resource tile, those icons are treated as its most required resources. Well, at this point, it doesn't need any iron. But it doesn't need food either, because it doesn't have any people in there. I'm not sure. I would need to ask David or Jeremy about this, because I think I found a little bit of a quirk with the most required resources, because it says that it will spend 3 food to place a crest, but it doesn't want the food unless the house is filled. So there's a slight quirk. It will spend the food to place a crest over anything else, but it won't take the food unless the house is filled with characters. I mean, that might be by design. It just seems a little... The 2 things don't seem to match up. So it's not going to take the stone for a cathedral. It's not going to take the food. It doesn't need any iron or wool for the contracts because... I mean, it does have an unfulfilled contract, but it's got the iron to do it, so it takes gold. So I think it's just going to take 2 gold. Right. So what dice did it take? It took this dice, which means it's doing the Joker action. Right. Okay. So we haven't had this yet. This is another part of the game we haven't had. And it says, if the die is taken from the Joker action, resolve the action specified on the decree card. Okay, well, there's 2 actions specified on the decree card. So this is the decree card. That's where it's taken the dice from, but there's 2 actions printed on there. So anybody know which one it chooses? No action on the decree card for this step. Okay. Is the game almost finished? No, we're halfway through. We are halfway through. It's going to speed up, though, from now on, because I've been learning the solo mode as I go. Brandon said there is no action on the decree card for this step. The die is from the Joker action, but no action was specified. The Cardinal bot performs one of the 2 actions below. If it's lower than you on the King track, it performs a King action. Otherwise, it performs a Merchant action if it has built at least as many pillars as houses, or the Architect action if it's built more houses than pillars. So I think it's going to take the Architect action. Yeah. So, yeah, because there is no... It's a little bit weird. It says resolve the action specified on the decree card, but there isn't actually an action. Right, okay. So, because it's ahead of me on the King track, it doesn't do that. So it's going to do the Architect action because it doesn't have any pillars on the board. Now, this is an action we've not seen yet. But it took the die from here, so it's got 4 action points. Not that it uses action points when it does the Architect action. So, Architect action. First of all, the Cardinal bot places a pillar in the Architect's current location. So straight away, without spending any action points, it builds a pillar in Paris. Done. Right, next. Find a bonus tile within the reach of the Cardinal bot. So the reach is 4. So we're looking for a bonus tile within 4. There's 2 bonus tiles here. 3. There's 2 bonus tiles here. And there's a bonus tile here. And there's a bonus tile here. So it's these bonus tiles here. So out of those bonus tiles, is there a crest that it doesn't have? No. Is there a crest that I don't have? No. Miscellaneous helpers. Yes, that one. That is a miscellaneous helper, and it will take that in preference to any of the others. So it takes that and removes it because it doesn't do anything special. 3. Find a cathedral without one of the Cardinal bot's pillars within reach. Well, we've got quite a few. Yeah, there's London, Bordeaux, Cologne. Yep. And the tiebreakers are the one with the total victory points, cost plus. So that's that one because that's 14. So it moves its Architect to London. And that's where it will then build next time. Okay, so it doesn't actually use the action points. The action points are effectively the reach. So it's built a pillar here, and then it's gone to London. That's its turn done, but it's got a contract that it can fulfill. And it does that at the end of its turn. Yes. And can it build this? Does it have 4 stone? No, it doesn't. So it's definitely going to spend 7 iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it spends the 7 iron and gets 16 victory points. 10, 16. Right. But it can't do that and it can't do that. So that's that done. Hi, Dave. Thank you for joining in. My go. Oh, I don't know. I mean, Leipzig is about to score, and I'm not in Leipzig. So I need to get my merchant to Leipzig in order for me to score there. And it's going to get me 9 points for each. 9 points for each what? Nine points for each set of fulfilled contracts and crests on your playboard. So I have 1 crest on my playboard and 1 fulfilled contract. So there's a potential 9 points there for me. Hi, Brendan. Thank you for popping in. Yes, pair of completed contracts, and so it's whether it's worth it. Now, there is a bonus tile there that would be quite nice for me. And I do have +2 actions on here, and there's a nice little bonus marker there. And where am I? I'm here, so I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get there, but then I can't build anything. I actually need 6 action points. Now, I do have a character tile here that allows me to move my architect to anywhere and my merchant to anywhere. So that could be quite good as well. I have a huge amount of wool and there's a really nice contract there. There's a very, very nice contract that allows me to move my merchant somewhere. So I'm tempted to take that one. And then hopefully I can do a merchant action. I can do a merchant. There's dice here. I can use any of these. So I think the first thing I want to do is I want to take this one. This is the die I want to take. That is 2 iron. And that gets me this crest. And that gets me 5 action points for taking contracts. So now, when it says crest on your player board, does that include that? Is that on my player board? I mean, it is physically on my player board. Am I sounding better? Okay, that's good that I'm sounding better. I'm still feeling a bit hoarse, but I was speaking all day yesterday and all day today. So, okay, it does count that one as well. So yeah, there's lots of things we can do. I could take this one, but I'm tempted to take this contract that I can fulfill. So we're going to take that contract for 1 and throw it away. Put it there. Then for 2, we're going to take this one. Then I've still got 2 actions left, but before resolving those 2 actions, I'm going to spend 7 wool to do this task, which goes on there, getting me 12 points. I can flip these over, can't you? 12 points and move my merchant. So 12 points. 1, 2. Got a pillar. Move my merchant. My merchant is going to move to Leipzig. I think. Yes. No. Antwerp. No. Leipzig. Oh. Yeah, Leipzig. Right. I've still got 2 left. I can take another contract. And I can take this one. Or I can take this one. Look at all these. Oh no, they cost 3. Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to take that one. Which goes there. Right. Done. I have 6. No, I had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I had 5 contract points. And I just took contract. Oh, we got this as well. I forgot about that. That's fine. That's fine. Move them down. Let's get some more contract tiles out. Anything else I want to do on my turn? I don't think there is. No, I don't think there is. So actually, I've got 2 fulfilled contracts. So that's actually 18 points now. And if I can get a 3rd fulfilled contract, unlikely. But if I can, yeah, that's really good. Right, over to Cardinal Bot. The dice are a 6 and a 1, which means it's moving all the way to the end, and it is taking the highest value dice of any colour. So that's one of these 4s, and the tiebreaker is the most required. So the first tiebreaker is stone. Does it have... Yeah, we haven't had this yet, but I think it now needs stone because it has pillars on the board and it hasn't built... If it's able to build at least 1 cathedral tile due to having a pillar in place, yes, but doesn't have enough stone, then it will take stone. So it takes one of these 4s and it gets 4 stone. It now has 3 and it gets this bonus, which is removed from the game because it's already got that one. And then it's got 3 action points to use for the king action. Yeah. Okay, so it just moves 1, 2, 3. I think that's it. I mean, I could look up the solo mode for the king action. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Is that all it does? Except it is now going to build a pillar as a task. Sorry, a cathedral as a task. Which, again, it's not done yet because it hasn't had the stone until this point. So if it has a pillar present at a cathedral that it hasn't built yet, and it has enough stone to build it, or it can make up the difference with gold, it does it, and it builds whichever's worth the most points first. So that's worth 5. Oh, in fact, that's the only place that it is. So it builds that piece of cathedral, it gets 5 points, and it costs it 2 stone. 5 points. Done. Doesn't do the food thing, doesn't do the contract thing. It's finished. My go. I am starting to get it, aren't I? Yeah, I'm just about starting to get it. Remember, I've not played this solo mode before, so yeah, this has been a learning experience. And most of the people that I was speaking to this morning, I think have played it a few times. And I think if I played it a few times, I think I'd be where you are. Yeah, corruption token, I forgot to do. Thank you. Down by 1. Right. So my next go, what did I decide we were going to do? It's got to be the merchant action, but I haven't got a house. Oh, how do you get the houses? Oh, completely forgot about that. Oh, I completely forgot about the fact that I don't have enough houses. So I've moved to, excuse me, I've moved to Leipzig, and I don't think I can do anything with Leipzig because I've got all of these contracts on the board and I can't do anything with them. Okay. We're going to choose this dice, but we're going to spend 2 gold to turn it into a 6. And I'm going to take 6 wool. And then I'm going to get 1 action. Oh, and I get this. Can I take this and use it straight away? I don't think I can. Okay. So there's a timing question here. Can I take the 6 wool from this, immediately fulfill this contract, and then put that on and then use this? Because I don't think you can use this without putting it on your board. I think it has to be on your board to use it. I mean, I'm going to do that. I don't know whether I'm allowed to do that or not. When can tasks be completed? At any time during your turn. Yes. Okay, so I take the die, I get the wool. Yeah. I need to, I then can spend the 9 wool immediately. Yeah. To get 17 plus 2, so 19 juicy points. Not 1 off and add. Oh, there we go. I'm now on 100. Okay. And then I take the bonus tile. And then I give in the bonus tile. So it's slightly cheesy. Slight smell of gorgonzola. But we've done that. And we've done that. And now I've got 1 action point for the architect, which is it's irrelevant. I'll move to Paris. I needed it for the wool to complete that contract because now I have 3 fulfilled contracts and 3 crests on my board. So that's worth 27 points. Right. But yeah, that is a timing question that I'm not sure whether you're allowed to do that, whether you're allowed to get the resources from the die, spend them, clear up space before you take the bonus tile. But that's what I've done. Whether that's allowed or not, I'm not sure. I think that's my go done. Can't do any more contracts. I haven't got any food. I can't build any more cathedrals. So yeah, my turn is done. Final corruption token is another -2. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Right, let's see what the bot's doing. Throw the dice on the floor. It's a 5 and a 3, which means I pressed the wrong button. There you go, 5 and a 3, so it's 2, so it's going to here. Everlasting Fame. Does it have more houses or an equal number of houses to pillars? Yes, it does. So it's going to do the architect action. Okay, so Chuck's saying the timing is take the die and or the bonus tile, put it on the board, then get the resources, then take the action. So I slightly cheated there, but that's fine. Nobody's watching. It's my first game, I'm allowed to. And it's not sponsored, so I can do what I want. I think I'm just going to give myself a victory point. Because, you know, it's my game, my rules. I'm only kidding. I'm not that much of a rebel. Right, so it's doing the architect action. The architect action is here, but there's no dice here. So it can't do the architect action, but it can do the Joker action and then do the architect action. So it takes that, it gets 3 gold, and it's doing the architect action with 4 action points. Not that that matters. So, the architect action. First of all, it's there. Can it build a pillar there? Yes, it does. So, boom, it builds a pillar in London. Next, it's not done the character action at all in the whole game, has it? It's really weird. Find a bonus tile within reach of the cardinal. So the reach is 4. Oh, there's a bonus tile here. So that's definitely within reach. That's definitely within reach. So it's those 2. Out of those 2, they're both contract tiles. So which one does it take? The one which is missing the fewest resources. Except it doesn't take these. So it's actually missing the fewest one of those, but it takes it and just gets rid of it. Okay, sure. And then find a cathedral without one of the cardinal bot's pillars within reach. I don't think there is one. The reach is 4. Colne? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, it can go to Colne. I think that's the only one. It's the only cathedral within reach. And if there wasn't within reach, it could have spent gold to go further. Yeah. Okay, right. Can it do any shenanigans at the end of its turn? It doesn't have the food. Oh, no, it does. It's got the gold. So it does. It spends... oh, no, pillar first. Sorry, cathedral first. There's a cathedral here. It doesn't have a piece of this cathedral. And it can for 4 stone. So 1, 2, 3, and 2 gold. It builds this for 14 points. 1, 2, 3, 14. There you go. I think that's yeah, I think that's that done. It built a piece of cathedral and it's done that. Can it now do the food thing? No, it can't. Can it do a contract? No, it can't. It's finished. My last turn of the 3rd round of the game. We're looking good for this. This is a huge amount of points that I've got coming in here, so I'm really happy with this. What I'm not happy with is these crests taking up space. Yeah. I mean, the good thing is I'm in Leipzig. So my whole plan was to build a house here so that I could score it. But actually, my merchant's there. So I'm already there. I'm going to be scoring it. So what do we want to do as my last action? I don't know. I mean, we could take some more characters. we could absolutely take some more characters and start populating this. Or I could turn the 1 into a 6 and get 6 food. And that's quite nice. I think that's quite nice. I don't really know. Build more cathedrals for the last fair. Yes. Yeah, which means getting more pillars down. I mean, that's what I can do with the architect action. I can start traveling around and building more pillars, but I kind of want to move the architect first, because the architect is kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's 2 to get to Lyon, but that's not a very valuable cathedral. The biggest cathedral is over here in Prague. This is a really juicy cathedral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place a pillar. But it's only 1 action point if I do that. Yeah. Yes. What to do? Tricksy. Very tricksy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Pay the 2 gold to change that into a 6. Get lots of food. Oh, and then food to put the thing on Prague. Yes. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this die. We're going to spend 2 gold to turn it into a 6. I get 6 food. Right. No bonus tile. But then, before I get the 1 action point with the architect, I then spend the 6 food to put this crest on here. And the bonus of that is I can put a pillar anywhere I want to. So I'll put a pillar there. And then, I've got 1 action point as an architect. I'll go to Troyes, I think. Now, I don't have the stone to build that yet, but I will start collecting stone for the end. I think that's it. I think I'm done. I don't know whether that was the most efficient play or not, but it seemed good. Right. We are all done. End of 3rd round, we have the fair. So 9 points per set of crests on your player board and fulfilled contracts, if you're there, which I am. 27 points. I think the word we're looking for is boom. However, Cardinal Bot is also getting 27 points. Fulfilled contracts, player crest, 27 points. 10, 27. Okay, that's the fair done. Then we do the King's phase. Cardinal Bot gets 1 point. I lose 7. Always close. That goes to 3. That goes back to 0. Cardinal Bot gets that, which doesn't do anything. And we are setting up for the last round of the game. Right, let's just replenish. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. We do not replenish that in the last round. So in the last round, this King's bonus tile is 4 points. I'm just going to step away for a minute. I just need to pop downstairs for 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere. I will be back. Yeah, maybe a minute. So yeah, stretch your legs, grab a glass of water or something. I'll be back in a minute. Right, we're back. So, last round. Have I missed anything? No. No, I just got very hungry and had to pop downstairs. And just grab a little bit of food just to keep me going for this last round. It's all to play for. Points are quite close. I'm not sure. The final scoring tile is not actually worth that much. So, thank you very much for the Patreon link. Right, off we go. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to call this. And remember, I am playing on the easiest setting because I'm not I'm not that experienced with the game. Right. So, one. Oh, we need to rotate this. Not done that yet. Right, ones. Twos. Threes. No fours. A 5 and 2 6s. Okay, Cardinal Bot is going first. Again. -1. And off we go. Oh, we need to remove that. So we've only got 3 cards now in play. The first one is it's going right to the end. Highest die of any colour, that's these. So it takes that. Oh, finally, it's doing a character action. It gets 6 gold. It takes this bonus tile. It's already got that crest, so it removes it from the game. And it's getting 1 action point to do a character thing. Yeah, so character action. We're going to have to read a whole new action. For each action point, the Cardinal Bot does the following. If it already has a character in its supply, no. I don't know where its characters go, but it doesn't have one. Otherwise, the Cardinal Bot takes a character tile from the offer using the following priorities. It ignores types of which it already has 2 of on its player board and in its supply. Is that its supply there? Well, I don't know. Takes the rightmost and places the leftmost on, but yeah, I thought it would be something like that. It prefers types that it has 1 of. It doesn't have any. If there are multiple characters of the same colour, it takes the one with the highest printed reward value. Highest printed reward value. Oh, no, it's it prefers types it has 1 of, and of these, the ones furthest to the left. Okay. If there are multiple characters of the same colour, it takes one with a higher printed reward value. 2 of something over 1 of something. So, I think it's this one. Probably can't see, but it's one that's got 2 things on it instead of 1. Yeah, I think that's it. Not that it matters, because I don't think it's going to be able to do anything with that, and it just goes into a supply. Right. Is that it? No, it is going to do something at the end of its turn because it has lots of gold. So first of all, does it have a pillar on the board? Where does it have more pillars on the board than cathedrals that it's built? No, it has 2 pillars on the board and it has 2 cathedrals. So it's not going to build a bit of a cathedral. Is it going to spend food to put a thing out? Yes, it is. So it doesn't have any food, so it spends 6 gold to put a crest out and it gets 5 points. It's now in the lead. And then fulfilling contracts, it hasn't got any. Right, my go. So crunch point. This is going to be important now. I want to get stone so that I can build a piece of the cathedral in Prague. There's only 1 dice with stone on. Wow, that is rubbish. That's really rubbish. I'm going to need the gold again. And the chances are it's going to take the gold because of this. So maybe I need to take the gold. Yeah, let's take the gold. So I take 6 gold. No bonus tile, unfortunately. I also get 1 character action point. That's not very much, is it? Where do we want to be for the fair? Troyes. Okay, so we're going to do it. We're going to move that to there. For 1. That gets me to move my merchant to anywhere I want to. Oh, no, I am in Troyes. No, hang on. Am I blue? I'm blue. I'm already there. So for 1 action point, 1 merchant action point. Do we take this? I don't think I need this. Don't think I need it at all. I'm going to move to here. I'm going to go to Hamburg with my 1. No, it's an automatic movement anywhere, isn't it? So I could move somewhere. Yeah, I don't actually have, excuse me, I don't have any merchant action points. All I'm doing is just moving this somewhere. So I'm going to move it to there. Because I might get some merchant action points later. And I get to move my architect. My architect is going somewhere where I can place a pillar, which might be useful. Never going to be able to do that, am I? No. Let's go down here instead. Florence. Okay, so that was my 1 character point to put that in there to get the bonuses. That's that done. Do I need the crest to cover up a good bonus for a house? Yeah, I've already got a crest here, so I think I'm okay. Placing a house anywhere, I've already done that. Yeah, the placing a house anywhere has already gone. So I think that's it for me. I've got all of this stuff. I haven't got any contracts. I have the gold. That's 3 stone there. I need 3 more stone. So let's see what the cardinal bot is going to do. We have some more corruption, which is 0. Cardinal bot rolls a 5 and a 2. So again, cardinal bot moves to worthy riches and takes the highest dice, which is this one. It takes that. It gets 5 food. It takes this, throws it away. It's then getting 2 architect points. So it's doing the architect action. And let's just remind me what the architect action is. Build a pillar where it is. So it can do that. It builds a pillar and column. Then take the best bonus tile within reach. Its reach is only 2. So it takes Antwerp and removes that from the game. And then move to the cathedral, highest victory points that you haven't built. Right, is there a cathedral within 2? There isn't a cathedral within 2. So the nearest cathedral is actually 1, 2, 3 away. So it spends the gold. I think I've got this right. And it moves the architect to Prague. Yeah, I think that's right. The house bonus 1 is on the far left. Oh, yeah, right. Sorry. But I don't have any houses. So I think that's right. I think it's spent the extra gold and it's moved to Prague because that's actually the nearest cathedral that it can reach. So it had to spend the gold to extend its reach. And now some shenanigans. Can it do some shenanigans? It can. It can spend... Oh, it can spend 6 food. It can do it. Put that on there and that on there, getting it 10 points. I think that's what it does. Well, first of all, it would have liked to have built the cathedral here, but that would have cost it 3 stone, and it didn't have 3 stone. So it goes to the second one, and it places the crests. So yeah, so I think that's right. I think that's what it does. Matt's joined in. Hi, Matt. We're almost done. We are almost done. It's been a big learning curve for me. Really big learning curve, but I think we've got there. I now need to take this. I absolutely need to take that, which is 3 stone. It gets me this. I can't remember what that does. I think it's just 1 bonus action. and I've got 4 points to use on the king action. And do we want to do this? I mean, this is actually quite good. This is quite a lot of points. Yeah, sure, it's fine. So 4 action points on the king action. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fine. And I now have... Builds me a pillar? No, it builds me a cathedral. I don't know where I can build a pillar from. Yeah, have I missed something? You need the architect to build the pillars. So, no, it builds me a cathedral, if that's what you meant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gets me 20 points for a piece of that. Let's have a piece of that. 42. Anything else we want to do here? Oh, sorry, you mean the Joker. So I could use the Joker for 1 action point, which I use as an architect to place the pillar there. Yes. Which effectively gets me 4 points at the end of the game. Thank you. Right, that's what you meant. I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to do. Pretty happy with the end game scoring, I think. I think I've got this now. Don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon. That king movement there might have done it. Down by 2, because that's going to get me 5 points. Double 4, which means it's doing the church communities. So we have this. Does it have more pillars on the board than cathedrals? Yes. It takes the highest value dark grey die. There are no dark grey dies available. Does it have at least 1 unfulfilled contract? No. So it takes the architect action. There's no dice in the architect action. So it takes the Joker action instead. That goes there. That gets removed from the game. It gets 2 food. And it is doing the architect action with 5 action points. Not that the 5 action points make any difference. So can it build a pillar where it is? Yes, it does. Can it take a bonus within 5 crests that it doesn't have? No. So it takes this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it takes this one. That one over that one. So that's gone out of the game. And then it moves to, so that's 14, that's 15. It moves its architect to here. Yep, I think that's right. Can it build a cathedral? It doesn't have enough stone. Can it do a thing? No. Can it do that? No, I don't think it can do anything. I think that's it. I think it has finished. I've now got 1 action left in the whole game, and I'm pretty happy about... I've done 3 cathedrals and I've got 3 fulfilled contracts. So I don't quite know what else I could do apart from there is a contract here that I can fulfill. In fact, there's one here that I can fulfill that's even better. So I think that's what we're going to do. We are going to take this. We're going to keep it as a 1, which is 1 iron. We're going to get 6. Oh, I take this bonus as well. And we're going to get 6 contract points. I'm going to spend 2 of them on that. I'm then going to immediately fulfill that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 wool, which gets me 16 points. Yeah, totally done it. 16 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 58. Okay. I've still got 4 contract points left, but struggling for resources here now. I don't think I'm going to be able to get much more. I will spend 1 contract point to trade 1 gold for 2 iron. Oh no, I can do it. I can do it. I spend another contract point for another iron, another contract point for another iron, and another contract point to take that, and then 5 iron. Look at that. To fulfill that for 14 points and 1 space up on the king track. Boom. Yeah, nicely done. I've got no resources left. But I think that's it. I think that is the end of the game. So we have the fair in Troyes, where we both score 6 points for each combination of fulfilled contracts and cathedrals. So that's 18 points for me. So I'm going to knock 2 off and add 20, because that's how maths work. What have you got over there, matey? You got 2. You got 2 sets, so you get 12 points. 1, 2, 46. The king track. I get 2 points. And I'm also ahead, which means I get the 4 points. And I think that is it. I don't think there's much in the way of end game scoring in this game. If any, there might not be any end game scoring. Oh, no, there is. Sorry, it's this stuff here. Oh, I forgot about that. There is some end game scoring that I forgot about. Yeah, which is actually not going to matter too much because my opponent doesn't really have any character tiles. But end game scoring, multiply the number of houses you have on the map by the number of pillars you have and gain that many victory points. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 houses on the map, which I got really early on. And I got 4 pillars on the map, which is 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 202. The cardinal bot has got 4 pillars and 1, 2, 3 houses. So only 12 points. Then count the number of completed buildings you have. Yeah, I have 1 completed building, which is no points. And I've got no points for leftover resources. So the cardinal bot, if it's got 1 or more fulfilled contracts, it converts all of its stone and food into gold and then attempts to fulfill those contracts. It doesn't have any. It gets 1 victory point for every 4 leftover resources. So it gets 1 point. So I don't think the cardinal bot scores for completed houses. It doesn't seem to. It's not in there. It's got houses multiplied by pillars. It's got unfulfilled contracts. And it's got 1 VP for leftover resources. It doesn't have anything else. So I think that's it. I think we are finished. So I won with 212 points. A convincing victory against the cardinal bot. Lounging down all the way on 159 points. So I think I'm better at the game than I gave myself credit for. Obviously, I've had some help from the chat. My last contract action, I'm not sure if you're converted or created. Oh, no, I cheated. Sorry, yes, it's not that. Absolutely right. I was just spending contract points to gain resources, which you can't do. So I'm actually 14 points down. 15 points down. There you go. So, as you were, which means I didn't do that. Yeah, so I won with 197 points to the cardinal bot's 159 points. Slightly less impressive victory, but yeah, I was getting carried away there at the end. You can't spend contract points to gain resources. You spend them to exchange them. So I was getting that wrong. Thank you for spotting that. Right. Let's give you my thoughts on this. This was an enjoyable stream, and I have to say a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters this morning. Well, a few of my Patreon supporters on the Slack channel this morning, because I was really struggling learning these solo rules this morning. Yeah, I was really struggling to learn the solo rules, and a few of my Patreon supporters jumped in, helped me out, and got me started. And if it weren't for that, I might have even cancelled the stream because I was really struggling to understand them. Saying that, on the whole, they are mostly very well written. There is a lot less ambiguities in these solo rules than I've had with other complex solo rules. So that was good. I'm not saying they're perfect. I think there could have been a few more examples and a few more bits where things were a little bit more clearly spelled out. But on the whole, I think the solo rules were generally quite well written, as I say, compared to other ones. As far as I'm concerned, this is not a solo mode that I would ever want to play again. And that is because this is not the kind of solo mode that I enjoy. As I mentioned right at the start, this is a solo mode, and I just want to be clear on this. Me saying that I never want to play this game solo again does not mean the solo mode is not very good. The solo mode in this is very, very good, and I can respect that and I can appreciate that. It is extremely well designed, it is extremely well written, and it is very, very clever. And it really does try, and it does a good job of it, of simulating another player. Every part of the game is all trying to achieve the things that a human player would achieve, and it's extremely clever in the way that it works. Specifically, the cards that it has are tailored to the fairs, so it's actually trying to do the things that will score it points in the fairs. Otherwise it would just end up going around doing random stuff. But when you're playing this game just as a human player, you need to look at these fairs, and that's what I did. And I was like, oh well, wait a minute, I'm going to get loads of points for this, so that's what I want to do. And the AI does that. So it's a very, very clever AI. It is extremely well designed. And if you are a solo player that likes a relatively complex bot which replicates a human player, this is a very, very good one. So I have to give it the credit for that. But personally, I don't enjoy running an AI bot myself, because I have to spend so much mental energy running it that I'm not able to enjoy the game as much as I would normally. So I'm glad I've done it. I am really happy that I have tried the solo mode, and it was my Patreon supporters that voted on this. So, you know, I got to follow the votes. If more people voted on this than anything else, then this is what I'm going to do. But tick, it's done. I've played the solo mode of this. I can now speak about the solo mode of this, but I would never choose to play the solo mode of this again. And I hope that makes sense. You know, I'm separating my personal feelings on what I enjoy from solo modes with a subjective or objective opinion on the actual solo mode itself. Yeah, it's extremely good. And just speaking of my Patreon supporters, the chat that I had in this morning, so Brandon, Chuck, and other people who are in the chat now, you've all played this, and you've played the solo mode of this, and you all really like it. So like I said, if you're the kind of player that likes a complex solo mode with a bot, then this is great. This is for you. This is what you're going to like. The good thing was, as a human player, I was still trying to concentrate on the kind of things that I would concentrate on if I was playing a multiplayer game. I was still looking at the fairs. I was still working out what to do. And there was that bit that I did at the end where I knew I needed stone to build that cathedral in Prague. I really wanted to do that because that was worth 20 points or something like that, plus an extra 6. It was worth a huge amount of points for me to build that. And I knew to build it, I needed the stone. But because of the way that these cards worked out, I knew that the bot was more likely to take the gold die. So I had to take that, knowing that the next higher value die was the food. So there was a little bit of the element in there where I kind of could predict what die the bot was going to take and sort of use that to my advantage. Anyway, we're all done. This has been exhausting. I need to go for a lie down. Might go and play a nice simple game like Through the Ages or something like that. So yeah, before I wrap things up, thank you very much for watching. If you are watching this back afterwards, please leave me a comment, give the video a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as I mentioned at the start, this is not a sponsored video. It's made possible thanks to the support of the Patreon campaign. So big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for funding the channel. And if you want to help contribute to the channel, you can help me get to 900 Patreon supporters. We have something very special planned for when we get to 900 Patreon supporters. And as of this morning, we are at 891. So we are only 9 Patreon supporters away from the magic 900. And yeah, so yeah, big thank you to everybody for supporting me. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah, I'm going to be back next week. So just a quick sneak preview of what's coming next week. On Monday, I'm going to be learning how to play Cuzco, which is game number 6 in the Steffenfeld City Collection. That will be a Patreon-only stream. So if you're a Patreon supporter of mine, you will have access next week to a video on Monday of me learning how to play the game. And then on Tuesday evening, Nick and Gemma are coming round. next Tuesday night, and we're going to be filming a tutorial and playthrough video. Again, that will be Patreon only, because that video will be then used for the upcoming Kickstarter, but I'm going to be filming it next Tuesday night, and as a Patreon supporter, you will have access to that video live. So that's Tuesday night. Also next week, I should be doing the monthly video log, hopefully, cross fingers. I didn't do it this week because I was too ill, and I had other stuff on. But hopefully I'll be doing the monthly video log. And then on Friday, I'm going to be doing Oros, O-R-O-S. It's a new game from Lucky Duck Games. It's going to be a sponsored video. They've asked me to cover it, and I'm going to be doing that on Friday. But I'm actually going to be doing something else on Friday afternoon, and we're not quite sure what yet. Rob and Peter are coming round Friday. We're going to be doing something in the afternoon. Not quite sure what. I'll let people know, but we're going to be doing Oros on Friday evening. And the Frostpunk video is not probably going to be finished next week. We're looking at probably the week after for the Frostpunk video, but I'm working on a how to play video for Frostpunk. It's been about 55 hours so far. I've got about 10 or 15 hours left of work on it, and it's looking really good. But that's going to be coming up before the end of the month, definitely. Right, we are all done. I'm going to pack this away, go downstairs, and I need to rest my throat because I'm starting to sound a bit croaky. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me this afternoon. It's been really enjoyable. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope you have too. As I mentioned, Tom Heath over at Slicker Drips has also done a solo playthrough. So if you are interested in watching somebody else play the solo game of it, check out Tom's video on his channel, and he's covering it. And that's it. I'll see you all next time. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye-byes.